have my foot in the door through the competition, but then sort of hustling a bit and sort of forcing my way in and getting them to give me an opportunity.
Very excited today. I'm speaking to Danny Howard. Hello, my friend.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm very excited to speak to you.
Oh, good.
I wanted to speak to you for a long time.
I'm excited to speak to you too.
I obviously bump into you a lot, and generally, obviously, I've known you for a bit and followed you. I followed your journey a little bit as well, and I'm very like I remember when you were doing dance anthems, and it was, and then you got the promotion to the bigger show, and
Friday nights, and
I was so excited for you. Like,
thank you.
Honestly, like. Yeah, I used to listen. I don't know if I told you before. I used to listen to dance anthems on. I was like, it was one of my things where I'd drop my daughter off to my ex-wife, and then you'd be on, and I'd be driving over to my missus' house.
Okay.
And that was my little. That was Saturday night, and it was every week you were there. And
that show was always like part of people's routine. So whether it was dropping kids off to the ex-wife or going. Well, people being on their way to a different city or town to go on a night out, or people still at work, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday, and it was amazing the reach and the attachment that people had to that show, and it was sad to leave, but it was the right time.
Yeah, and it seems to be every week you were breaking a camel fat track, and camel fat literally grew up on your show for me. It was like I discovered them on your show. And
that is one of the reasons why I wanted to move to Friday nights on Radio 1, because whilst Dance Anthems is an amazing show, it's all about playing the big bangers, getting people ready for a Saturday night, I just had this burning desire within me to become more of a tastemaker, have more of an influence, and also just break acts, break artists, break new music. And with Dance Anthems, it was leaning more towards playing familiar tunes, songs that people already know.
Yeah, getting ready for Saturday night.
Exactly, which is great. But I had 6 years of it, and for me, I just wanted to have a new challenge. And fortunately, the bosses, believed in what I wanted to do, and they gave me that Friday night slot. So now I can do even more of the camel fat thing, where breaking new artists, playing new music, introducing a die-hard dance audience to exciting new DJs and producers that I think they need to know about.
How are you selecting your music for that? I know a lot of labels must send you stuff, and I know for us when people send us tracks and go, "Can you get this on there?" And on stage on the website, and it's not signed to a label. It's not. Yeah. It's just a self-release thing, and I'm like, don't know. Can I? And
these days it can be anything.
Do you have restrictions? Anyway, I guess my question would be.
No restrictions. I have completely free reign of what I do. Obviously, it's got to stay within the realms of the sound of the show and the remit of what it is that the show is meant to be representing, which is a UK focused underground dance music show.
You really are the champion now for tech house and house music.
Well, but that's when you go out to Warehouse Projects in Manchester, Printworks in London, Tobacco Dock, all these massive venues that are hosting dance events. It's what people want, and it's just about reflecting that. So when it comes to selections, it can be anything from a simple promo, an email, or I might see a video of a track getting played that goes off, so then I'll be like, I need to hear that more, so I'll get in touch with the DJ and try and get a copy that way. Or I might be out myself in a club, might be DJ friends. Literally these days music's so accessible, and obviously with social media and the internet, it's you can discover a track anyway.
That's really interesting. I know a lot of, obviously from our audience, I'm trying to teach kids how to get further in music, and that's interesting that you're now choosing stuff off any platform, and as long as it's got hype around it. Yeah,
do you know what though? It's radio back in the day when I used to listen to Pete Tong and then Annie Mac. That's where you went to hear the newest, freshest, most exclusive music. Now it's a completely different dynamic. Music can be discovered through a video on Facebook or Instagram, and it's about just staying on point, having your finger on the pulse, and reflecting what it is that people who love dance music are discovering, sometimes before you. Yeah. So it's about picking out the cherry picking the best of what's out there, whether it's released or not, and getting it on the radio.
Nice, amazing. And what is it like? I'm intrigued. What's your day to day as a radio DJ look like?
It's a lot of promos. A lot of DJs have people that help them filter music, which it's something that I should probably do given the amount of promos and emails I receive. But I like to micromanage everything. I'm so hands-on and not a control freak, but the thing is, everybody receives the same demos, everyone receives the same promos, everyone has access to the same music, pretty much. So it's about finding those little nuggets that potentially might have been missed, maybe because it's a new name or someone I've not heard of, and that's what I try to do, is whilst reflecting the big tunes and the big names, it's also about, hold on a minute, this is a tune by someone you never heard of, but I think it's brilliant, and this is why you should hear it.
I love that.
So that's why I feel like conscious that if I had someone to help me filter music, they might miss something that my ear might catch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel the same with. Obviously, I choose all the music for our SoundCloud, and it's got good reach on SoundCloud. Obviously, not the same size as Radio 1, but I feel the same. That if I'm not choosing the tracks, then it's not part of me. You know, it's
and that's it. You know, when you in an age where you've got Spotify and Apple Music and streaming services, and people curating their own playlists and they're curating their own podcasts. The thing about Radio 1, especially, is people believe in you and trust you as a presenter, that you are selecting the best music to their taste, and so you sort of have a duty to trawl through music and select the best. You know what I mean? You can't wing it. You know, because people are making the effort to, you know, go on BBC Sounds and listen to the show or tune in live, and you know it's a commitment, because there's so many options out there now of media and audio and music, that they're choosing to listen to my show. So I need to make sure that I'm giving the best possible back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So that's how I approach it in my head. So day to day is just listening to everything that comes into my email box. Granted, I don't reply to everything, because then I wouldn't have time to listen to everything. You know, I do get a stick sometimes from people. It's like, why have you not replied? It's like, well, you know, I can't sit there and reply to everything, but I'll do my utmost to listen to everything, and then just keeping across blogs, keeping across social media, internet, and you know, just trying to find little gems.
I guess the other part of your day is running a label, and you've just relaunched the label.
Yes.
Is it now? How's the setup now? Because I know before were you backed by a bigger entity and you were choosing it? And
so Nothing Else Matters was actually an events brand that I started in 2012. We did our first event in Manchester at a place called Gorilla. Had Mark Knight play for me, which was a big deal.
I like that venue.
Yeah, it's a wicked little venue. It's like an intimate warehouse vibe.
Yeah.
And then we had an opportunity to start a record label backed by Sony, which is obviously a major label. They have, you know, massive pop stars, and it's a multi-million pound company, and they were willing to invest in Nothing Else Matters, which was crazy, and it still is crazy to say that. So we had our first hit with 99 Souls, The Girl Is Mine, which was obviously a great start. But then after that, that's when I was sort of coming to the end of my Dance Anthems time on Radio 1, and as a DJ in the clubs was going more towards the underground side. So that's the way I was going, because that's where my passion lay. But then, of course, when you're running a record label for a big company like Sony, they want hits.
Yeah.
And, you know, I tried to push and pull and make it work to deliver big tunes, but also be able to deliver underground records as well for what I wanted to do, for what I play in the clubs. And it just didn't work out in the end. So we decided last year to, you know, go our separate ways, which was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And then I've set up independently, which has given me the freedom creatively, musically, to create what it is that I want, which is quality underground dance music, UK focused, and you know, it sort of mirrors the radio show.
Yeah.
And it's so far so good. About our first release, which went to #1 in the Progressive House chart on Beatport, which was great. It's
Eli Fur.
Yes, it's my track featuring Eli Fur, which I didn't want to say that because it's like, it's my track. But I wanted to launch something a little bit different. It's a bit more melodic, it's a bit deeper, and because I play a lot of house and tech house in my sets, I think people would have just assumed that's what the label would be, but trust me when I say we do not need any more UK tech house labels. So, you know, and also in a year's time, tech house might not be the sound that we're dancing to anymore. I mean, it'll always be there, but obviously it's having a moment. But, you know, me as a dance music fan, I like to push and pull, go left and right, and just support and play whatever it is that I think is good for that moment in time. A bit like a DJ set, really. But with the label, I've got a good mixture of sounds coming. All obviously dance music. Some great artists, some legends, some established names, some new up-and-coming talent that I'm really excited about. So just can't wait to get sort of deeper into it as an independent.
I'm excited to hear about the new talent. I'm always excited to hear about new talent.
Yeah, I can name a couple. There's a guy got a track called Don't You, and he's called Iglesias.
Yeah.
He's already released on like Steve Lawler's label. He's had a release on Repopulate Mars and Solo with Salado. But this one, they were all like tech house bangers, but this one is a more sort of soulful, full vocal, deeper house.
Incredible.
Track. It is amazing. I play it every single set. It goes off. That's going to be coming out at the end of September.
I'm a big fan of him. He's an incredible producer. The ones that he's released already have been huge. And
yeah,
that's.
But this one,
I'm excited to hear that for sure.
This one, I think, is his best work to date. But yeah. So Iglesias, Don't You, look out for that track. It's one of my favourite tracks that we've got scheduled on the label. And then there's another guy from Sunderland called Sorley.
Yeah, I've heard of him. He's cool. He just released on Jackie and Friends.
Yes, he did. But Louis is a great lad. The first time I actually met him was at Hideout Festival. I just finished my set. I was tired. I was about to go home, but like you do after every good club show, is get a pizza. So I was walking down the beach on Zurcher Beach at Hideout, gob full of pizza, and he comes up to me like, "Can I get your email?" I was like, yeah, okay. So we had a little chat, and then he sent me some demos, and I was like, wow. So he's got an EP in November. Patrick Topping, I know, is a big fan of it because he's been playing one of the tracks out, so really excited to get that out. And then next year we've already signed another EP from him, which is probably going to be his biggest release so far. I think it's got a big sample in it, which we're just working on at the moment, but it's been gone off in all my sets. So Sorley, Iglesias, and then there's another new artist who's actually established under another alias, but he's created this new sound under the name Too Far Gone, and if you imagined Scream making music with Fortet, it's like that.
Amazing.
It's like housey, but a bit sort of left and experimental, and it's progressive at times. It's more 80s at times. It's just a big mashup of like really cool electronica, and I can't wait for you to hear that as well.
Amazing! I can't wait to hear that. It sounds incredible.
Yeah.
And how are you fully involved in the are you fully in artwork and managing and every part of the label?
This is the difference. So when with the setup before at Sony, it was like, because it's a big operation, it's a machine. These guys deal with Beyonce, so they've got departments for everything, and it was through that I actually lost faith in what it is. Well, lost faith in doing what I wanted to do in such a big machine, because I'm with radio, so hands-on. With that process, it was you sign a track, okay, then it goes to this department, that department, and you all of a sudden you lose touch with it. Whereas now the label, it's like every single thing I sign, I play my DJ sets. Every single thing I sign, I sign it because I love it, and then from start to finish, from signing it to releasing it, I am there 100% of the way. Obviously, I've got a team that helps me do things, but I'm on all the emails, I'm involved in every conversation, and I just feel that's how it should be. And the first release going to number one on a Beatport chart, I feel is no coincidence, because I've been able to be the driving force behind it. And I think if you're wanting people to believe in your records and sign your records, then you have to be 100% in it as well.
There's a load of labels at the moment. I really feel that they're just so bad for DJs. They just they sign records and then the artist gets nothing out of it, and they get so little return for like really established labels that just, you put a record out with them, you just think, what has that done for me?
It's almost like having a label's a fad, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like at the end of the day,
or they're chiming off their name, and it's just like,
music's music, and to create a piece of music requires a lot of passion, and love goes into it, and to every producer, whatever they've created is their like baby, essentially. So they're trusting you to get it out there and release it. So you need to make sure that you respect that and you honour it and you deliver. So that's what I'm thinking with the label in terms of everything that I sign. I'm going to treat them all like my own. It's a really exciting moment and something that I'm just really prioritising and looking forward to getting my teeth into.
How far are you signing in advance?
We're signed up to Christmas now.
Yeah.
So releases on the way from. We've just released something from Kill Frenzy with a Gerd Jansen mix, which is sick.
I got that this morning.
Yeah, it's a different sound. It's not what you'd probably expect from me, but it's just setting the benchmark and just saying to people like, look, we're all about quality electronic music here. It's not just about bangers, although I do have bangers coming from the likes of Andrea Oliva, Ram Acoustic, Alex Metric, Ways and Odyssey, Alicia. Who else have I got coming?
I think you've gone for Alex Metric. I love Alex Metric.
Yeah, do you know he did a track with Steve Angelo back in the day, which is like it's just like one of my biggest records of. One of my biggest introductions to that sort of new sort of dance sound of the late 2000s, and he's just obviously a sick producer, so versatile and it's like a wizard.
Yes, I liked his Metro Plane thing, and I liked
the Metro Plane thing. We actually did on Nothing Else Matters at Sony.
He did. I like that track until they put the vocal on it, and then I was like, oh, what have you done?
Yeah, sorry, that was me.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't me. That was Sony.
I really like the original, and then you got new Metro Plane track, and then it was like, oh, you've just put a horrible vocal on it.
Yeah,
why have you done that?
I know, but again, that's what happens when you sign a track, to a major. They want a vocal.
I want to talk about radio a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about generally kind of. I know there's a lot of kids that want to get into radio, and your route into radio was kind of
different.
How was it? And
well, radio was something that I actually never considered. I wanted to always be the DJ in the club. That's first and foremost who I wanted to be and who it is that I am today. But of course, radio was a big part of me discovering music with listening to Pete Tong and Annie Mac and even Just Jules. Back in the day, he's been a big help. He's helped me a lot actually in my career.
I used to like that show.
Yeah.
I used to like Fergie's show. that was crazy.
Fergie, I used to like his voice. Yeah.
And do you know who I really liked? Lottie did Radio 1 one time, and it was absolutely delightful. And I wish she would do more radio or more podcasts or something. Because her voice for radio, it was like really warm and hugging, and the tracks were amazing,
Yeah. I don't remember Lottie's show, but I know she was on Radio 1. But as you just talked through there, Radio 1 have been such advocates of dance music and supporting dance music. So it's a pleasure to be involved myself. But then. Obviously, every year they do their Ibiza weekend.
Yeah. And
in 2011, they decided to run a DJ competition as a way to promote the Ibiza weekend on daytime radio. So I decided to enter that after hearing about it. Because I used to listen to Radio 1 all the time. So I'd hear them advertising it, and then I thought about it, and then I thought, no, I'm not going to enter that. But then after a little push and shove from some friends and family. Decided to enter and then got to the final 6, so we sort of got invited down to London, and on the Chris Moyle show and breakfast we got set tasks, so it was sort of like apprentice style.
Nice.
And then during the day we'd go and do the tasks, and then on the Scott Mills show one person would get dumped.
Nice.
Quite cool. From the competition. So the first day it was like a mixing challenge, then it was a hype the mic challenge, then the third day was the best day because the final 4 got split into 2 teams, and the task was to remix Calvin Harris' "Feel So Close."
Nice.
So we spent all day doing that, and then on Scott Mills' show we presented 2. So me and Madam X did our remix together, and then another guy called James.
Yep.
In the other team, and James is actually now James Hype.
Yeah.
He was in the competition as well. Anyway,
wow.
The judge of the remix for Calvin Harris' "Feel So Close" was Calvin Harris.
Oh.
He came into the Scott Mills show and he judged. He didn't know whose was who. He just had remix A, remix B, and chose ours. And then, which was amazing. So the next day got to the final, which was a live 5-minute mix there. 8 million people on Chris Moyle's show, and the public voted. So. I won that, and the prize was to play for Radio 1 at Ushuaia.
Amazing.
So warming up for, I think Carl Cox was on the bill, Tiesto, Murillo, it was a huge lineup, and I did the warm up, and that was it. That was the prize, and off the back of that exposure was got a lot of interest from clubs and stuff, which was great. And for me, that was as far as it was going to go.
Yeah.
But then at Christmas, they invited me to do like a Beat the Highlights show of that year, which was great. And that's the first time I thought, I actually quite like the dynamic of radio, and that's when I looked into it more. And then my friend Sam, who worked at Radio 1, just did off his own back, got me in to do a demo. We just put it on the boss's desk.
Right.
Like, here's a demo of Danny, and I don't know, the stars aligned, mate. And but no, joking aside, it was right time, right place, because they were looking to bring back dance anthems.
Yep.
And then they were like, well, hold on a minute, we've got a guy who's won the competition. He's a normal DJ from Blackpool. Let's give him a chance. I don't know what they were on that day when they made that decision, but April 2012 started Dance Anthems, and that's how it all happened. Was having my foot in the door through the competition, but then sort of hustling a bit and sort of force them away in and getting them to give me an opportunity.
Nice. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I love radio. I love the feature parts of radio more than sometimes some of the music. I love that the effort has been put in, and there's segues where you just listen to people talking. It's an incredible. That's the joy of radio for me.
Yeah, I mean, if you get it, sometimes radio interviews can be boring. I'm not going to lie. Like, sometimes people just want to hear music, but if you get the right guests and you ask the right questions and it's the right treatment, it's magic. It's the magic of radio. You can't get that on streaming sites.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's why we all love it, and that's why radio is still one of the strongest outputs that there is for music these days.
Yeah, I agree. From a spot, like people that go, "Oh, just go and listen to Spotify." No, radio's still better because you're still listening to someone and you're listening to someone curate and
I agree.
Taking the time. Yeah, of course. So yeah. So let's talk about music. Obviously, you just released a track. Is there more from yourself?
Yeah, of course. I've got a release coming on Tool Room. It's a collaboration with Ilias and Barrientos.
Nice.
I love those guys.
Me too.
We talked about having a collaboration for about a year, and I can't remember when they sent me a basic idea, and then I just developed it, and then we've had like to and fro, and I think we're on version 27. But finally, it's going to come out on the 4th of October, and then I've got another thing for myself and Nothing Else Matters before Christmas as well, and a couple of remixes. So yeah, I've been really busy in the studio, but then now, sort of when the beta finishes in a couple of weeks, I'm just going to be hibernating in the studio. Pretty much all autumn and winter.
Nice. Getting
ready for next year. I just really want to focus on releases. So my 3 priorities are the label, radio, and music production in no particular order, but they're my 3 sort of focuses and priorities.
The big goals for 2020.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a lot of work, but it's the way I want it to be.
Yeah, nice. So on this channel, we help DJs get further.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you your 5 biggest things every producer needs to know.
Okay. First thing a producer needs to know is there's no wrong way of doing something. I think if it sounds good, trust your ear, because obviously tutorial videos help, obviously, but I think don't always follow the rules with producing. I think that's how some of the best tracks are made, by accident. So if something sounds good to you, then go with it. Trust your ear.
I saw a track be made out of a cereal box the other week, and it was incredible.
Okay, I wouldn't always recommend that. But it sounds good.
Like,
it sounds
literally, he put a rubber band on a cereal box, and he flicked the cereal band on the cereal box, and then made something out of that, and then used a different part to make a different noise, and then it literally expanded this out into this whole track that then got played in the club. It was
wow,
incredible.
I mean, yeah, if you can do that, make use of household items.
Yeah,
that's number 2. Number 2 is be patient. There's a lot of people out there that are doing your dream, but it's not going to happen overnight. You just gotta work hard, get the skills that you need to be able to deliver when you get the opportunity. So for me, when I did that competition, that DJ competition, that was through years of being in the clubs, learning how to read crowds, learning where to play the right song at the right time, and then I had an opportunity and I was able to deliver. And it's the same with producing. If you get the chance to release on a label or even play a gig, like, you just need to make sure that you've that you can give the best that you possibly can.
Amazing.
That's number 2. Number 3, whilst at the same time I say be patient, someone once gave me some advice, and that was to be tenacious. So, you know, be patient, but don't just sit back and expect it to come to you. Is basically what I'm trying to say. It's like you need to go out and get it. So, whilst it won't happen overnight, make sure you're doing everything to get your name out there and make people aware of you, and hopefully the opportunities will come.
Great.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Hustle hard.
Hustle hard, yeah. Like I say, there's so many people out there that you need to make sure you're almost barging your way to the front of the queue, but don't do it unprepared.
Yes.
Number 4 is you need to be humble. Through my job, I've been so lucky, as you know, you have as well, Grahame,
yes.
is to meet some of the biggest DJs in the world, and I would always say that the one consistent thing with all of them is that they are just normal people. They are down to earth, they are humble, they are grateful, they are thankful, and they don't need to be, but they are. But I think it's because of that attitude it is a big reason as to why they've got to where they are today. So I would just say be humble, be nice, because you never know who people are going to you never know how people can help you in the future. There's people that I met who were trying to hustle to get into the industry, and now some of these people are like, you know, influential people who can help me. So
yes.
It's like it's actually quite a small industry when you think about it, isn't it?
Yeah, I completely agree. The inner bit is so small, and
yeah,
when you get to higher levels as well, that gets even smaller.
Yeah,
and being nice to the right, you know, all those people is.
Yeah, don't be fake. Just be nice.
Just be nice.
The 5th thing before the battery runs out on the camera. The 5th thing you need to know is have fun. I mean, sometimes I have too much fun, but enjoy it, because I feel like I've got quite an old school head when it comes to DJing and being in the club, but I feel like there's so many DJs out there who treat it like a job, and it's like serious. Like, obviously you need to be professional, but also enjoy it. Like, if you're lucky enough to get to the point of playing your music to people in a club, savor that moment, enjoy it, and yeah, just don't take it too seriously.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure to speak to you.
Thanks for doing it. It's been a pleasure to speak to you.
I've wanted to do it for a long time, and
we did it.
I'm a big fan.
Thank you very much.
And I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Cheers. See you soon.
No problem.